blue sky. Please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do. Everybody smiles at you. Mr. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Sky.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham's the team, down at St Andrews. We are all supporters of our team. We chanted Super Blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end.
Tilton Talk is back after our bank holiday break, and the studio has been painted out perfectly. 2 hours to get here tonight, as once again the Midlands motorway network is thrown into chaos with accidents on both the M6 and M42. Let's hope those involved are safe, because a hold-up doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. The big one is back on as Blues get that away draw in the Carling Cup. Yes, the Carling Cup. That has been so close over the last 4 years. The Birmingham Mail wanted to get the game moved, and the allocation for Blues is unfairly and greatly reduced to just 2,800. TalkSport's Muppet Stan Collymore fires his stupid mouth off on Twitter, and he gets it all barrels loaded back from angry Blues fans who don't need the comments that dribbled out of his ugly mush. Take a leaf out of Ian Danter's book, mate, and be a professional reporter and learn to shut your mouth and be impartial, which is what you're well and truly overpaid to do. If I was his boss, I'd have hauled him over the coals. Personally, I wouldn't care if I never heard his vile droning voice ever again. Bristol City up next as a 2-week international break draws to a close, and can we get another big crowd at St Andrews as the Rowett Disco buses turn up loud and marches on. We could actually be second in the league at this point had we played and beaten Brentford. Congratulations to England football team for being the very first team to qualify for getting knocked out in the knockout stages of the Euros, but real congratulations this week go to Brummie Speedway for their incredible league win.
Champions!
Another week being a Blues fan.
We love you, what more can we say? We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say?
So welcome back to Monday nights, the Tilton Talk Show, 7:30 through till 9 with Chris Brown, GA, my good friend Chris Pugh, my good self. The studio's looking very nice, Christopher.
Thank you.
It's all paint. It's kind of a lime green in the background there. Kind of a lime green.
I'd actually hope for.
Yes, yeah. But I don't mind. It looks very nice. And we've got a makeshift studio tonight, so it's not quite as we would normally have it. And I did notice that we've got an intruder in the studio, and that intruder, it seemed to have a Wolves fan. There's a wasp in your window, Chris, by the way. But really, we genuinely do actually have a real intruder in the studio tonight. He's very unwelcome, as he always is, and he always turns up unannounced. It is the one and only Mr. Docco.
Good evening, everybody.
That'll
How
do.
are you all?
And also, of course, we've got Chris Brown,
Good evening.
the wonderful Mr. GA,
Champions.
and top man Chris Pugh.
Good evening.
Right, okay, so we're going to kick off tonight then. Talking. We're going to talk Speedway first tonight, actually, because I know GA. Even though you're a viler, you're in top mood today, and you've got no voice, so we'll let
Just
you
a
do your
little
bit first. Off you go.
Okay, well, the Phoenix has risen. A year after Birmingham Speedway was no more, we come back, we see, and we conquer. And yesterday we went to Mildenhall, a team that hasn't been beaten once in the league this year, and we beat them from 8 points behind and collected the National League trophy to boot. And I've got no voice left. I've sung all night. Hey guys, and champions. That's all I can say. It was fantastic night, best night.
We as Birmingham fans know what it's like to win a decent trophy. There's a lot of you from across the city there that have never experienced that. So hey, we're in the same bracket. We're in the same bracket.
Okay, I don't care. Champions. That's all I care about.
But no, it's great to see. I mean, a year ago we were having discussions about how you were having protests, outside the chairman's house and this, that, and the other, and
That's right.
all those horrible things that happened, and they've not only come back, but they've come back and won the league.
Yep.
Year one.
Yep.
Tremendous
And
achievement.
it's good for the good name of
Of course
Birmingham,
it is.
isn't
Of
it?
course it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And congratulations then to Bromley Speedway.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
they're called Bromley Speedway now.
Birmingham Brummies.
Right, so they're not going to change the name.
Or
to the
Birmingham
Bears
Speedway.
or-
No.
No.
This is I say it.
All right, okay. If we could possibly, Chris, at some point get a photograph of Docco looking like the gentleman on his T-shirt, including the glasses,
Oh,
and get that up on the shout
the
box.
photographs have already been requested.
Brilliant. Right, Mr. Doherty, thank you.
Have
ever
you
so
got a
much.
wide-angle
You've-
lens in it?
Yeah, you go. You bought me. You bought
Well,
me
I
a
bought
gift.
you all.
Oh, that's for everybody, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. You
Not
said
just
right.
you,
Okay.
you miserable
I was going to say, blimey. Cool. We've got some homemade Docco cookies, and he said mine's are the ones with the laxatives in, which is very. And they're not dated at all, are they?
No, it's not
they're
what he's
dodgy.
like.
They
They're
were
dodgy.
made today,
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah, we believe it.
Yeah.
Move over, Paul Hollywood. Docco's on town.
Did you wash your hands before you did them?
Yes.
Seriously, because I'm quite anal about things like that. You know what I mean?
You what?
You wash both of your hands.
Yes.
Especially the right one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't do things like that.
Okay, so as I say, we're in a makeshift studio tonight, so we're all crammed around one desk. We're rather comfortable. We're rather comfortable
Cosy.
tonight.
Cosy,
Cosy is the
yeah,
word.
it's a good word.
Cosy is the word. And thanks to Chris Pugh this week for giving us the heads up that Docco was actually walking down the road. So we did have fair warning that he
We
was
never
on
had
his
time
way.
to turn the lights
No,
on. did we?
no.
Or hide under the
Or
set.
take all the equipment into the living room or something like that. Do it from in there and pretend we weren't there.
Oh, I forgot. I've got you something else as well.
Oh, God.
No, it's a big nasty.
Oh, right, okay.
You know. These are in date, not like your did.
What are they?
Right, I have the update on the dib-dabs is that I did actually put a
Oh, I do
complaint.
like them. The wife likes them.
I did-
Did you keep them down there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's good for radio, all this crackling, isn't it?
isn't it?
Great
Yeah,
for radio.
Yeah. Come again.
It sounds like it's interfered.
Hurry up, and shut up.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
The
I'll
news,
turn the mic down.
I won't
you,
come
yeah.
again.
Good. The news on the dib-dabs is that an official complaint was put into Asda, and when I went back, they'd removed every packet. So, yeah.
Oh, well
So
done.
they were actually selling them out of date.
Good stuff.
That's Asda for you, Asda. I've actually bought a gift in tonight as well. This is almost like Countdown does, 8 out of 10 Cats does Countdown, isn't it, where you're going to bring your own thing in every week. I stopped off at the garage and got some chocolate fingers. But I checked the date on them first, and the guy in the garage was like looking at me and saying, "Why is he checking the date on them?" But I thought I daren't bring anything else in that's OOD, so there you go. All right, okay, so news from the Euros is that Luxembourg have had 16 of their players fall ill with food poisoning, and that their game may well be called off because of that.
Is there any truth that they was given some cookies by Docco before?
This is what I'm seriously genuinely worried about. Now, the offending article was apparently spaghetti bolognese. So throughout the course of the show tonight, I want you to, and us in here as well, think of footballers to do with food, and I'm going to kick it off because spaghetti bolognese is the theme of the Luxembourg downfall at the moment, and I'm going to go for Gabby Spagbol-Lahore. Gabby Spagbol-Lahore. There you go. So that's the kind of thing we want up on the show box.
Or better. Or better.
All right, okay, all right. Got a couple of groans at least.
Much better.
Oh dear. Okay, so we go into our ladies' spot then, Chris. What an incredible result over the weekend.
Yeah, massive 6-pointer at the weekend away to Bristol Academy. We were 2 points ahead of them going into the game, with only 3 games of the season left, the bottom 2, and we went to Bristol and won 3-0. 2 penalties from Karen Carney and Melissa Lawley scored. So it means we've 2 games left, both got 2 games left. We're now 5 points ahead of them, and they've got, obviously, been bottom of the league. That they've had a pretty poor season. They've struggled for results all season, so for them to ask for 2 wins, even if we lose both our games, for them to get 2 wins from their last 2 games would be pretty unlikely.
So I take it it's just the one that gets relegated then?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yeah.
what do you think's happened to our ladies' form this year then?
I think the World Cup's played a big effect. The mid-season break for the World Cup. The 3 players in particular, Karen Carney, Jade Moore, Jo Potter, the first half of the season before the World Cup. Yeah, Karen was carrying an injury, and we weren't sure whether she was going to play for Blues before the World Cup, whether she was getting herself ready for the World Cup or not. But since the World Cup, after they've come back, we have played a lot better. Still, a couple of results didn't go our way. We got well and truly beaten away at Chelsea, but they can do that to teams. But overall, the performances have been a lot better. Players like Mel Lawley and Aoife Mannion have been excellent all season, really. So, since the World Cup's finished and the players have come back, we've stepped it up and we've managed to put in the performances when it matters. So, and we've got a Continental Cup quarter-final on Sunday at home to Chelsea. So if we win that, get to a semi-final, survive in WSL 1 again for another season, it might not be a bad season overall.
So your prediction is pretty much for Blues ladies to survive then?
Oh yeah. I'll be absolutely stunned if we went down now.
And the Continental Cup against Chelsea, it's a big ask.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. We couldn't have really drawn a tougher side. Obviously, they're going for the title, favourites for the title this season. But we are at home. We thought our home season was over, but we've got the home draw. So hopefully we can pull off a shock there and make it to the semi-finals.
Cool. And what's your predictions then
for Sunday?
Yeah,
I still think they'll be too strong for us. I think they're a really strong side. I'd be surprised if they didn't go on to win the title with 2 games left. So yeah, I think we'll do pretty well to knock them out. But you never know. It's a cup match, a one-off cup match.
Yep, absolutely.
And if we keep it tight, we can always sneak a goal with the likes of Carney and Lawley in the form that they're in. So
tremendous.
Nice to get a trophy.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, we've come close the last couple of years, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, we won the FA Cup in 2012. That was at Ashton Gate, Bristol City's ground.
I was just about to say that was that really.
Yeah,
And
that was against Chelsea as well. So we won on penalties that day. So maybe fortune will favour us again this season.
So.
Cracking. Right, there's some live football on tonight, kicking off I think in about 15 minutes or so. So we'll try and keep you updated on that, or if anybody else out there hears anything before we do, obviously, because we get a small time delay before our Dorset tones reach you in the nether regions of the world, wherever you are. Keep us updated equally so.
Are you referring to the international games?
There's a Scotland game on tonight. Scotland-Germany.
Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland,
They
yes.
qualify tonight with a win.
Did Wales qualify?
No, they haven't qualified, no.
They will.
Yeah, I
They
think
will.
so.
They only need a point, and
Does-
they've got Andorra at home to
We-
play.
Goes that way.
We're going to talk a little bit about the Euros as well, well tonight. Obviously, because of the international break, then there's not been that much, to gossip about. And of course, we've also had a
I'd like
last
to put
Monday
some of
off.
that out there as well. About
Thoughts on tonight's Scotland game then?
I can't see them getting anything against
No,
Germany.
there was some.
I mean, the thing is, Scotland at home against against decent nations, you often find that they do raise their game, and it can be an intimidating, especially on the night games as well in Scotland. But someone like Germany, you can't see a passionate atmosphere facing a team like Germany that much that they go on and lose to Scotland. So I can't see them getting anything out of Germany.
And of course, excuse me, over the weekend, England were the first team to get through to the finals.
Yeah.
A lot of talk. Again, I've been working all weekend, so I've not seen the game. I've not even seen the goals, to be honest with you. And I've literally not had a minute to myself all weekend. Never mind. That's it's just one of those things. No, don't feel sorry for me, everybody, please.
We wasn't going to.
No. And but I've not been able to watch the game, and tomorrow night is looking doubtful for me as well. I don't know, a lot of negative talk about the actual England performance, but I think if you take any team, I know it's San Marino, but even if you take San Marino and beat them 6-0, that's a 6-0 win, isn't it? You know what I mean? I don't understand all the negativity.
We know a negative. You
can only
how can you be
beat
negative for people.
Why did we only score 6? You know
You
what I mean?
can't
Like,
take-
stop it.
Even if you won 10, even if you won 10-0 against a nation like that,
Yeah, why didn't you score?
you
twice?
can't take anything fundamental out of a game like that. The Tuesday nights, tomorrow nights against Switzerland will be a game that you can
Judge the
really
England football.
judge
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
and analyse as a serious football match, because San Marino are just going to sit there and try and defend for as long as they can, and then once one or two goes in, the
Heads
floodgates
go, yeah,
open.
yeah.
That's what happens anytime San Marino play. That's what always happens. So it's difficult to judge players. It's difficult to judge, the way we've played. But like you say, it's a 6-0 win. We've won every game in the group stage so far, 100% record. The only team to do that.
Yeah.
So really, you can't grumble at the moment.
Was it San Marino years ago in a cup qualifier when Taylor was in charge, and
They scored after like 12 seconds.
they
or
scored
something.
after 12 seconds and England
Yeah.
only beat them 3-1.
Yeah.
So how can you say 6-0 is a bad result? The San Marino, I know they're one of the smaller sides
Yeah.
in it, but they're not that bad at football inside. They've been in the cups. All right, they'll never qualify, but they're always in
They
the
are
group.
experienced now,
Yeah.
yeah. But you can look at someone like the Netherlands, and that they're really struggling to get a playoff place at the moment. They're fourth in their group out of 6. Italy played Malta and Bulgaria over the weekend and only managed to beat them both 1-0.
Yes, so this
100%
international void
record.
it is closing down, isn't it?
I think it is. I think. You look at Iceland. Iceland have qualified for their first international tournament now. Top of their group, which consists of Turkey, Czech Republic, and the Netherlands.
Of course, all the mothers support Iceland, don't they?
That's very true. Yeah, but
It's only mums that go to
I was
Iceland.
waiting for that joke.
But, I think the void is maybe not with the likes of San Marino and Andorra, but your Icelands and these teams are getting closer,
Yeah.
and international football is getting tougher. So when all you can do, as G.A. said, you can only beat what's in your group, and England have done that 100% all the way through.
There's only one other team, isn't there? Is it?
No, we're the only ones.
Oh,
now.
the only ones now.
Yeah.
So Spain has beat Slovakia at the weekend. Slovakia were the only other one with a 100%.
And again, if you look at the Wales game last night, a 0-0 draw.
Yeah.
They didn't qualify. They wanted to qualify, obviously,
Yeah.
in front of their supporters, etc., etc. But FIFA have put Wales above England in the FIFA rankings, and we all know how allegedly corrupt FIFA are, don't we? Allegedly, I did say the word, Chris.
Yeah, of course.
I'm protecting Sports Radio Birmingham.
But
here.
those rankings are based on such a odd formula.
Well, FIFA's based on an odd formula.
Well, it's based on results over the last 4 years, and you get more points if you beat teams who are higher in the rankings. So, for example, Belgium were second in the world, and Wales beat them at home. And at the same time, we were beating who was it? Slovenia and was it Lithuania? I think group as well. So that's how they get their point system, and that's why Wales are climbing, because their group they've got Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina who were at last year's World Cup, and they're top of that group. So
and Gareth Bale.
Well,
he scored 6 goals and 2 assists.
Well, that's something I'll put out on Twitter. I had a comment back from a former member of this parish, Gabriel Sutton, disagreeing with me.
No, surely not. My mate Gabriel disagreeing. Please, he's coming in next week.
Fine. But I put out on Twitter that for me, Gareth Bale is the greatest British footballer ever.
Ever.
No Englishman.
Ever.
No Englishman, Scot, Welsh, or Northern Irish player has ever been better than Gareth Bale.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
That's quite interesting, actually. Like the likes of Nat Lofthouse and players like that.
Bobby Charlton.
I
I would put George Best as the only player who ever come anywhere close to Bale.
What about Ricky
But
Otto?
Bale is taking his nation to an international tournament, which Best never did.
Tarantino.
Alberto Tarantino.
They weren't British.
What about Lee Novak?
Lee Novak, yeah.
Lee
Ricky
Novak.
Otto was British, wasn't he? He was a Jippo, wasn't he? He might be listening, he might hit me.
We've got a comment on
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. Excuse me.
Oh, good call.
I might have to take it back about your Danny Agspoden-Lahore, however you said it.
Spagboggle.
That's one.
Yeah.
Because Channel K's come up with, instead of Danny Welbeck, Danny Wellington.
Beef Wellington. Danny Beef Wellington. Poor.
And
Channel K, that's out of poor vote off the team, I'm afraid.
and talking about the England match, this is from SKC. 6-0 isn't a bad result on its own. Most people look in comparison to others who put 10 to 12 past them over 2 games a few years back. Germany struck nearly 30 goals past them. That's where some people's annoyance comes from, in my opinion, when they compare us to other nations.
I'm actually not annoyed at a 6-0 win, and I don't think any England football supporter can be annoyed at a 6-0. A 6-0 win's a 6-0 win. That's a goal every 15 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
See that?
I just got that right as well. I got it right. Yeah. That was a pure guess. Honestly, that was a pure guess.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, good.
I've got goosebumps.
Well done,
Look at
that. I mean, it's entertainment, isn't it?
Croatia were only a small country. Look how they rose from the
It's a large
football.
country. Small country.
Yeah.
And they were. I think after Sukkot and all that, they're not the team they were, say, 10 years ago, when they were sort of like getting into semi-finals of the European Championships and the World Cup. They're now, I think, because I don't know whether it was the war situation over there or what happened, but when the old Yugoslavia split, Croatia were a fantastic little side, very hard to beat.
Okay, so what's everybody's thoughts then on Muppet Radio, saying that these smaller teams, the Andorras and the San Marinos and the likes, shouldn't even be in the competition? They should have their own little competition to find out who goes through to this competition.
Well, do we include Wales in that? I mean,
very small. Scotland, for instance.
Northern Ireland.
But your point remains. Wales and Northern Ireland have done nothing for. Wales haven't reached a tournament since 1958. So do we say 10 years ago, when they didn't have Bale and Giggs wasn't bothering to turn up for international matches and the likes, we'd have said then, there's no point putting Wales in. There's no point giving Wales a chance, because San Marino is a European nation, Andorra is a European nation, and for me, they've got every right.
Absolutely, completely.
Attempt to qualify for a tournament.
And
that's what they're there for.
Utterly agree with you. Completely. They're all European nations, so shut it.
Yeah. Let them participate.
They're part of the UN, and they're part of Europe. Now you look at Turkey and Israel, they play in the European Championships, and they're not technically Europe.
Well, Israel's singing the Eurovision Song Contest.
Yeah.
I know.
So was Australia last time I saw.
That's true.
Australia really well. It shows how I don't watch it, doesn't it? Eh?
It's all right. There'll be in England's group next year in the World Cup.
Oh dear me.
But there's plenty of nations that started off as nothing, and now, you know, like I said, Iceland have just qualified. Wales are going to qualify. Northern Ireland look like they're going to qualify. And 10 years ago, you'd have said they'll never qualify for a major tournament in the next 50 years, and they're doing it. And the only way they've been given the chance is to keep playing these big nations, learn and develop, playing international football. And that's the only way they're going to develop.
Back in the 80s, Northern Ireland qualified for 2 World Cups, and in Jerry Armstrong, they went down to 10 men after McIlroy got sent off against Spain.
McIlroy.
Eh?
McIlroy. Thank you. I'll have that one. Yes.
But no, seriously.
Against Spain, yeah.
They went down to 10 men. Everybody said, and they got 2 draws beforehand, got into the quarterfinals, and then they went to the '84 World Cup as well. It was like the Republic of Ireland under Charlton. They kept going through and getting through.
Well, Northern Ireland are the reigning home nations champions, aren't they? When it was disbanded in the 80s,
of course they are,
they were the last team to win it.
I used to go to them. We used to go down to Wrexham and Cardiff. Went down to Cardiff with my brother's Mini and got a Union Jack sprayed on the top of it. We got stopped by the police. And this is an absolutely true story. Overheated in the middle of nowhere, and we all had a wee in the radiator to get it back going again.
Oh, right, okay. Well, but the smell coming back was awful.
No, it was just one of them daft football things, isn't it? You know what I mean? So we're all in agreement then that the smaller teams have every single right to participate. Yeah. Good. I'm glad of that. So if you've got any more food footballers, anybody think of any?
No, I don't think we...
if anybody disagrees with my bio comment, feel free to give your own opinions on the chat box.
Yeah. The greatest player ever to grace these shores.
British Isles, yeah.
Okay.
Gareth Bale, who was very nearly a Birmingham City footballer, actually.
Very nearly,
when Tottenham were completely and utterly disillusioned in him. And he's now gone on to Chris Pugh's greatest ever player of the British Isles ever. Does that include the likes of Ducko as well?
Includes Ducko, yeah. Just about.
I still think Best was the best. But,
well, he was the best. That was his surname.
Yeah, but not only in his surname, I still think I've seen him play. All right, he never won anything. It was like Giggs never won anything for Wales. Giggs should have played for England anyhow, because he was English and he played for the under-17s.
But then, you know,
Giggs
had that option, didn't he? And obviously he chose Wales. He chose to go and play for Wales, possibly thinking that he'd get more international action for Wales than he would have done for England. I don't know. Only he knows that, I suppose.
I've got one. Mario Tagliatelle.
Oh, yes, I like that one.
From our friend Aaron.
Mario Tagliatelle, very good. Very good.
Slightly better than the last one.
It's better than
Well, thinking about, because he's got in touch with us on Facebook. It's one of the ways we can get. We've got a new way of getting in touch, haven't we? Now, do you want to?
We have, yeah. If you want to, you can text us. Make sure you got some free texts on your phone. I've given you the number. God.
Sorry,
can't get the staff, can you? You can tell he's been away for a few weeks, can't you?
I was just busy reliving.
You can text us on
0798 682 9803.
That's for all people who are listening on TuneIn and on various apps now who can't make it.
Shall I give that out again?
We'll give it out in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
If you haven't got a pencil, that gives you an opportunity to dig through the drawer in your living room and find one. Yeah. So,
I just remembered I was waiting for the bus, and I'm sure I've seen Rocking Johnny walking past me. There was a bloke spitting image of him, looked like Rocking.
What an interesting character he was.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Did you burn his CD for him?
I believe that was our biggest download show so far.
He's a cracking guy.
Just edged out the Speedway Tavern.
Really? Hey-ho.
Sorry.
There you go. Did you burn his CD for him?
I haven't, but it'll take me 2 minutes to do, so I'll do.
Perfect. Because I know he'll be rooting around the pub that I'm painting tomorrow and ask me.
Oh, right. I'll get it ready for him. Yeah.
But yeah, he's an interesting character, to say the least, wasn't he?
Right.
Character. And I've been working in a pub again today, actually behind a bar, and I'm going to make a photograph album. There are Uttoxeter is a tiny-ish kind of town, 17,000 people, something like that, and it's got its own set of unique characters. You know them Rockin' Johnny characters. I need to get a photograph of them and build a little album up of all the local characters and what they do. But anyway, hey ho. Right, keeping just with the international theme then until the half-time break, and then we'll do all things blues afterwards. Rooney and his goals. Now he's equalled Sir Bobby Charlton's record, but Bobby Charlton didn't have all the friendlies and all the kind of lesser games, shall we just call them, for want of a better word, that we do nowadays. Does anybody think that Rooney actually is in the league in the same division as Bobby Charlton, for instance?
Same league? No.
Well, you know what I mean.
No.
I think he's a million miles off it.
I think he's in the same league as was what's his face, Lineker. Because I mean, Lineker knocked in a few goals, but he was never in the Bobby Charlton.
But Rooney's getting more penalties and everything nowadays, isn't he?
Taylor ended his career as well because he took him off against Sweden in the European Championships and he never played again after that.
No.
You know, what was Taylor's thinking? Why didn't he?
Well, let's just say that the images in the newspapers shortly after that of a turnip on his head perhaps kind of summed him up. You know what I mean?
Can I just bring something up that?
I hope it's not your breakfast.
No, not yet.
Not Jaffa cake, is it?
No. Chris mentioned Northern Ireland being the home nations championship. Would anybody like to see that back?
Oh God, yes, I would. Of course,
yeah, I would.
Man, the fun I used to have back in the day going to them.
But I'm not trying to go away from.
No. It's fine. It's all right. We'll talk about anything you like.
It's a good topic.
Very good topic. No, but Chris brought up a very valid
I would love to see the home internationals on again.
No.
Well, there you go.
Why, Chris?
Why?
Where are you going to fit them in?
Instead of friendlies for a starter.
Yes, absolutely.
No.
I'll tell you what, that's a cracking comment, though.
No, because our next three friendlies are against Germany, France and Spain.
But wouldn't you rather see them against Scotland, Wales and Ireland?
Absolutely not.
Why?
No, because when you come to tournament football, if you want to win big tournaments, at some point you're going to have to play Germany, France and Spain. And if we just keep, no disrespect to the Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, as they've shown in this qualification campaign, they are improving. They are getting better and better. And if we play Wales now, I'm not sure how we'd get on because of the Bale factor and everything. But at some point, you've got to play Germany and you've got to play Spain. You've got to test yourselves against these teams. You can't. I think that would be detrimental to England and to Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales. If we were to just play them every year.
I see your point. Valid point, yeah.
Plus, when we play Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland now, it's such a massive event because we haven't played them in such a long time that if we went back to playing them every year, but if we went back to playing them every year, I think that would die down.
It never did it? It was always a massive event.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously we struggled to get tickets, and you haven't got the technology back then. You had to write and hope that you got one. You know what I mean? You had to put lick a thing called a stamp and put it on an envelope back in the day. Interruptions. Here we go.
Okay, we've got two footballs.
Can I just stop you? Your iPad's going to fall off the table any second.
It's all right, it's mine.
Okay, it's all right. No,
so Channel K's come up with two more. He's really trying now. We've got Dimitar Berbatov.
Ooh, that's not too bad, is it?
That's all right, isn't it?
Not too
and
bad.
Kenny Jacket Potato.
I like that one.
I think that's the winner so far.
Yeah. Right, little rat, I've got to think of something now.
SKC it says, in my opinion, Rooney is overrated, certainly for England. If Michael Owen didn't have as many injuries as he did, Rooney would be well short of the goal record now, in my opinion. I also think it's just pointless comparing one.
Absolutely.
You've got to think about Bobby Charlton, yeah, brilliant player, but look at the players he had around him as well.
Yeah, but also look at the size of the ball and the weight of the ball that they had to play with.
So
back
it's
then.
just every, you just can't.
What are you laughing for, Chris? Proper ball, made of leather.
Yeah, but men were men.
Laces sticking out of it used to cut your head when you had it.
I think Rooney's...
Maybe in your day.
Hang on, one at a time then, go, Chris.
Go on, Duffy.
Great
I
stuff.
wasn't butting in. What's his name from Tottenham? Who scoring all them goals last year?
Kane.
Yeah.
Kane, right? He was not even picked for the England team this week. He can't even carry his backside with a banjo at the moment.
He did on Saturday.
He did on Saturday, okay, he did on Saturday, but it's the first goal he scored this year. And this is what, like Rooney, they either do it or they don't do it. They go off the boil.
But
Is that
the
too-
point. No, I think you've almost been detrimental to your own points there, because you've just mentioned Kane, who had such a great season last season, and he's now finding it a little bit tougher. Rooney has had 10 years at the top of both Man United and England.
Absolutely.
He had a decade of being the number one man at club and country for 10 years now. And he will break the goal scoring record.
Oh, he will.
And he
Yes,
will
of
be
course he
England's greatest ever goal scorer. And I think that is quite a feat. No matter who he's played, no matter how many games he's played, how many of them have been friendly.
Well, it's the first one to do it since when did he set the record?
Okay, well,
the only thing I would lay against him is that in big international tournaments, Gary Lineker won the Golden Boot in '86, and he scored goals in major tournaments. Rooney, he scored I remember he was scoring 2 against Croatia in the Euro 2004, and he scored his first World Cup goal last year. Whether he gets to the next World Cup, that's 3 years away. It remains to be seen whether he will get that far. I think he'll be in next year's Euros. But to have that decade at the top level and being the number one man for goals for your club and for someone like Man United and England, I think that's a serious effort.
Okay, but the thing I don't know the answer to this, but I'd like to know is how many games did Bobby Charlton score? Was it 49? 49 in, and
it's
how many
less
games
than Rooney's.
has Rooney scored his 50 in?
It's less than Rooney's.
I think the void is
and of
quite
course,
great.
Charlton got the one in the semi-final of the World Cup against Portugal as well.
Interruption.
Yeah, we got a couple more. So Channel K is really going for it now.
You'll get a good one.
Has he got any opinions on football?
No, Capo's in his own little world
He knows
tonight.
nothing about football.
Come
We've
on,
come
let's
up
have
with
it.
Stan Cauliflower.
Oh yeah, absolutely perfect.
And Germany have just taken a 1-0 lead against Scotland.
Germany have taken the 1-0 lead against Scotland. And breaking news, good stuff. Okay, well I've got one. Potato. Potato. Oh,
I could see the cogs going. I wonder why he wasn't concentrating. You've gone quiet.
Is that what it was? I thought he was having a stroke.
Who was that police player, something League?
Gary League.
No, years ago, going back to the 50s, we had a bloke called
we
League.
wouldn't know. We wouldn't know, Doctor.
don't
We're
go
far
far.
too young for that. Far too young.
Yeah.
Well, almost half time.
It is half time. A bit different this half time. We've got a roundup from our friend Gabriel. Okay?
Marvellous, yeah.
And it's 13 minutes. Okay, so brace yourself. Here we go.
Midlands Football Talk, me, Gabriel Sutton. Basically, we're just having a look at the latest football stories in the Midlands. Now, we're going to start off with Burton Albion 1, Coventry City 2. That match was played today on Sunday. Now, I thought Coventry were a little bit fortunate there. I thought Burton started the game really well. First sort of 20 minutes or so, created a lot of chances. I thought Duffy and El Kayati looked good. Obviously, Duffy was on loan from Birmingham City. I think if he carries on playing the way he is for Burton, then Gary Wright might be keen on giving him another chance at Blues. They're not sort of sacked with wingers there. So excellent performance from Duffy. But you felt as though Burton weren't quite clinical enough. And I think they, the finishing from their strikers probably wasn't as good as you would hope. I think, Tommy Thiel, the player they'd signed in the summer from Dortmund, yes, he worked hard. Did he show that finishing quality or that goal scoring touch? Possibly not. I think you could probably say the same with Stuart Bevan. That's the downside that you're going to get. I think he's very hard working forward, and I think because of that, the team is able to sort of create a lot of space and create space in the box, and therefore create chances. But neither of them look like natural finishers. I think TL hasn't scored for Burton yet this season, so they certainly need to improve on their finishing. I thought Coventry possibly improved a little bit in the second half. I thought Tudgay played well. Jacob Murphy, he should be an interesting signing for them because he did well at Colchester on loan last season. I know even though he scored a brilliant goal at Walsall the other week. A lot of fans were sort of criticising his performance there. I was at their game against Southend on Monday night, and I thought Murphy was really poor in the first half. He didn't show enough of an end product. Possibly improved a little bit in the second half of that game, but there's sort of question marks there. But he showed real energy and real commitment in that game against Burton, and I think Mowbray will be pleased with his performance there. And again, I thought Ruben Ramirez played all right in the second half. He looks creative. He's got that eye for a pass. But I'm still not convinced about Coventry at the back. Although they've been sort of had an excellent start to the season on paper, they've not kept a clean sheet since the second week. I don't think. Conceded 2 against Crewe. In the third game of the season, and then conceded 2 against Walsall, conceded 2 against Southend, and were probably a bit fortunate to only concede 1 against Burton. So they're certainly scoring goals. I think defensively they can improve. I'm not entirely convinced by their goalkeeper, Lee Burge. So even though it's been a brilliant start for Coventry, I do think that they can get better. But it's a great result considering they were without Adam Armstrong, who's away on, I think it was international duty. So they have got players who can come back into the side, Morrison as well. For Burton, I thought they were brilliant in the first half, applied pressure in the second half, but again, they need to be more clinical. They applied sort of moments of pressure in the second half. Probably were better in the first half, but I think they need to take their chances more on the whole. Now, moving on to Shrewsbury Town. Now, they got a 2-1 win at Barnsley on Saturday. That's their first win of the season. I think that's an important result given that they had lost late on against Burton last week. It's a funny story that Jordan Clark scored the winner. Now, a bit of a mixed emotions for him, as his family are actually Barnsley fans, as far as I'm aware. So he'll be pleased to have put in what sounded like a man of the match performance from Clark. I think Luke Weiler, the goalkeeper, had to make a couple of good saves in that match for the first hour or so. Shrewsbury possibly sounds like they improved a little bit in the last sort of 20 minutes when Akper Akpro came on. Sounds like Matt Sadler, who played for Birmingham, must be nearly a decade ago now. He made an impact when he came on. I think he put in a decent cross for one of the chances Shrewsbury had. So it's an excellent result for Shrewsbury, and I think they're sort of in towards the lower mid-table position now after that first win. So that's a vital result for them. They're off and running. Now moving on to Walsall. They lost 1-0 at home to Bury on Saturday. Now, I think Dean Smith didn't seem too downhearted with the performance that that Walsall put in. Obviously, they were without a few key players. They were without Neil Etheridge, the goalkeeper, who I think was away on international duties with the Philippines. They were without Demetrio, who was with Cyprus. So they've certainly got players who are of the calibre to be away on international duty, even if they're with slightly obscure countries. But so Walsall had to change their system in that match. They went to a 3 at the back system, and I think they didn't start so well, and obviously conceded the early goal due to a bit of a defensive mix-up. I think you'd argue that Taylor should have been maybe a bit close to his man in that, but then again, he's not naturally a centre-back, so I think you'd have to let him off that to an extent. I know Dean Smith said that the last half hour of the first half, Walsall played really well and created a lot of chances. So I think most people will say that Walsall were a little bit unlucky not to take something from that game, but they did struggle against Bury, who sort of parked the bus to some extent, having scored that early goal, and they picked up their first win of the season. But only Walsall's first league defeat. They're still very near the top, so that's a big result for them. Now moving on to League 2. Now Northampton lost 2-1 at home to Dagenham and Redbridge. Now that's their first defeat to Dagenham. Believe it or not, they'd won 9 of their last 10 games against them, and drew the other match. So they've certainly got a very good head-to-head record against Dagenham. Now, I mean, it's a disappointing performance from Northampton. They didn't really create too much. Obviously, Mark Richards got himself another goal. But some fans are getting a little bit restless there. Defending for Dagenham's second goal was really quite comical. And again, I mean, I think there's a bit of a divide at the club in terms of a lot of fans are angry with the owner, David Cardoza. I think he sold the club to an Indian consortium who they haven't really. I mean, a lot of people are questioning whether their interests are, footballing or whether they're just interested in the land that surrounds the ground. So you do wonder about whether their sort of footballing interests at boardroom level. I think some fans are a little bit unhappy with Chris Wilder and the sort of the style of football that they've played so far. From a goal scoring point of view, they haven't done as well as you would hope, given that the attacking players they've got. I know Ricky Holmes has been out for a while, or for a few weeks, but even so, it's been quite a disappointing start from Northampton, really. And yeah, you do worry about that, the lack of sort of unity at that club. So I think it's going to be important that Chris Wilder gets the results going quickly, because otherwise things may begin to sort of unravel there. Now moving on to the Premier League, I'm just going to have a quick look ahead. I know it's been international weekend, but I'm just going to have a look ahead to next week. We've got Leicester against Aston Villa. Now that's going to be a really exciting game, very difficult game for Aston Villa as well, given the way Leicester have started the season. They've obviously beat Sunderland 4-2 on the opening day, and won 2-1 at West Ham as well. They're still unbeaten, obviously managed a draw against Tottenham, who are a team who finished 5th last season, and obviously got a point at Bournemouth as well. They signed Nathan Dyer on loan. I think that could be a really good signing, adds that bit of pace and width, and I think that'll sort of get the best out of Riyad Mahrez, because if you've got someone like Mahrez who's playing in the hole and you've got quick runners either side of him, that makes it really difficult for defending players to know where to go, and that sort of thing. Because do they man mark Mahrez and then leave someone else in space, or do the other players sort of drag defenders out of position? I really think that it'll work there. Aston Villa have sort of had a bit of a mixed start, haven't they? Really, they've drew 2-2 with Sunderland last week, when they probably should have got more out of that game. Conceded 3 against Notts County in the League Cup. Lost at Crystal Palace. They've just signed Joleon Lescott on loan. I think it's on a permanent deal from West Brom. Be interesting to see how that goes. Obviously, they've conceded 7 goals in their last 3 games, so they do need to sort of sort out their defence. It hasn't done so well under Tim Sherwood. So I really feel as though Leicester have got a great chance of getting a result, of winning that game, really, with the start that they've had. But we shall see. That's been all for this week.
Ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean.
And special thanks to our very own Gabriel Sutton for that Midlands football roundup. And his voice is almost as deep as mine nowadays.
It is deep, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, we've had some frivolities in the
We have, haven't
break.
we?
And,
Is that what they're calling it these days?
Chris, I want to pass it over to you because you're on buttons tonight, and we've got some more food names.
Well, we've had Jeff Horseradish, which I thought was quite a good one, and we've had Mario Noodles.
Yeah.
And Polo Di Canio. I didn't say it though.
You're not taking that, mate. That was Chris Pugh said that one. Yeah,
We've also had Ashley Coleslaw.
Ashley Coleslaw, and I did suggest Polo one chop, one pork chop.
Yeah, not bad.
But we do actually have an official...
I've got my Gert Muller Lloyd.
Oh, God. You do.
It's quite a good one, that one, isn't it?
We do actually have an international lineup. Does anybody want to hear the official international lineup of food footballers?
Can I just tell you that it's Scotland 1, Germany 1?
Yeah, you can do. No problem. Right, here we go. Tim Cahill. Tim Cahill. That's a good one. That's a good one.
And his brother Gary Cahill.
Wayne Macaroni Cheese. Ooh, Kyle Walkers. Paul Scones. Dwight Yorkie. Jamie Carrot Cake. Jake Cod Livermore Oil. Nigel Warburton's. Salmon Kaloo. Didier Pecora.
Good one.
Leighton Beans.
Have you Googled all these?
Leighton Beans. I've done my homework, Chris. Gabriel Heinz Tomato Ketchup. Rafa Burritos.
Oh, I like it.
Aaron Lemon. Martin Skittles. Henning Carlsberg. That's quite a good one. Fernando's Torres. Listen to you. The looks of absolute nutty disgrace coming over from your face, mate. I had got Gerd Muller Rice in the team lineup, so there you go. We've got Pat Rice Evera. Yeah. Ryan Greggs. John Terry's Chocolate Orange.
You forgot Tony Curry.
Oh yeah, Tony.
Marcus Senecott. Just in case you have too much food. Gabriel Aubergine, Rio Coconut, Ashley Coca-Cola, Peter Bread Chilton,
We're in the reserves.
David Eggnog and Nick Bacon Butty. There you go, Nicky Bacon Butty.
And
Nicky
it's
Bacon
Scotland
Butty.
1, Germany 2.
So that's nothing surprising. See, that little food international lineup caused the Germans to score.
Fantastic.
Right, okay, so we've had the half-time break. Then let's get onto the Blues. We've only gone and drawn the big one, Chris.
Yes,
The big one.
Indeed.
The big
The
one.
big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the levels of excitement. You know, you couldn't have wished for anything more. I mean, in a way, I think it's even better than Villa at home because the pressure is off us now.
Oh yeah.
And we get to go there and just enjoy the game and all of these players. I mean, I was trying to think if any of them played. Will have played. There's nobody left, is there, from 3 or 4 years ago?
I don't think there's a single soul.
No, there's nobody left.
You know, it's a game that they will all enjoy playing. they'll all want to play in. Like you say, it's the dream draw. It's the absolute peach of the draw.
No, I'm not going to make any predictions because I'm just not going to do that. But the only thing I'm going to draw sort of a parallel with is the persona between Dim Sherbut.
You're nicking my thing off Facebook the other week.
Dim Dab Sherbut.
Yeah.
Sherbut, right.
I was going to bring that up.
And our very own, of course, Mr. Gary Rowett, and their stature and their pose and the way they hold themselves are very, very different. Whereas Tim came in bright and bubbly and really has achieved nothing apart from an excellent FA Cup performance, avoiding relegation by 1 point, and now drawing the Blues in what ultimately is always and will be in my mind called the Carling Cup.
We played an unbeaten first division side, beat them 2-0. They played a second division side who were 16th in the league, and it took them 120 minutes to beat them.
Now this is going to be this genuinely is going to be a totally different game. It is in our eyes, of course, it is the ultimate local derby, I'm not, like I said, I can't even think about putting a prediction. I'm trying not even to think about the game, to be honest with you. It's a massive opportunity for both sides to have them bragging rights for, again, what could be 3 or 4 years before another draw comes out, or unless there's a relegation or a promotion in the offing. And those bragging rights last a long time, and I don't want to be
especially when you don't play each other very
absolutely
often.
And I don't want to be in a position where the historians can just turn around and say, oh, well, last time we played you, we beat you.
I don't. For me, I know it's important. I'd love to see us beat them. And I've got there's an outside chance we will, because, like I said, they're not a confident team.
Blues are a tough cookie to grind down at the moment. That's a big plus for us at the
Our
minute.
counter-attacking play has been very good, but it's just the second half. We don't want to give up like we did against Derby, where we had a great first half, and second half we spent most of the time defending. But against MK Dons the other week, we carried it on into the second half, and he's got, like you say, we've only got a small squad, we haven't spent much money, but it's not about, they brought a Klingon, they have. What's his name?
Klingon?
The one at Warfare.
You can't say that on air. and
Klingon
do that with your hands on your forehead.
What's his name? Yeah,
Les Goff, I think you're on about.
Doesn't he look like
Lescargot.
Doesn't he look like him?
Yeah, all right, okay. We'll drop that and leave that where it is.
Yeah, all right. But he's past his best. Lescott. So
no, I disagree too.
No, I disagree with that. But
I don't think he'll. I think up against Donaldson will give him a hard time. I tell you, there's not a lot of people can stop Donaldson. He might not score the goals, but his work rate is phenomenal down the Blues.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
The one thing I would say is that, as I said, the fact we've drawn them away, the way we set up, we are a better away team. We are a better side set up away from home than we are at home. And the performance at MK Dons was the archetypal modern day away team performance. The home team will have better spells because they're at home and they're going. You expect them to have more of the ball, and you have to be solid at times, and you have to defend well. And in the first half we did that. In the second half we got our goal, which was a well worked goal and a really nice finish. And then from that moment on, we are that side at the moment that if we do get ahead, we can defend well. We are solid, and we've got that threat on the counter attack with the pace of Graham Cottrell and the strength of Donaldson up front. Gleeson's had a new lease of life playing alongside Keefton Bell, and he can get forward.
And even the commanding goalkeeper that we've got with in Kuzak. A lot of people knocked that sign, and I thought that was a shrewd move, that one.
Yeah. It's turning out to be a decent move at the moment. But just the whole fact that that they're going to have to come out strong. They're going to have to come at us. Sherwood's that kind of manager you just said. He's the kind of manager that he's going to want he's got such an ego that he's going to want his team to be 3-0 up after 10 minutes.
What Sherwood is going to want, right, is a little bit of clawback from the FA Cup final, where they just didn't turn up at all. Now, if we can put that much pressure on them, we get nick an early goal. I can see their heads going down.
If we nick an early goal, they have to come at us. And as I just said, we are so good on the counter attack at the moment. We are set up for that. The team we've got is just made for away day performances at the moment. And like you say, if we can nick an early goal, then we'll just go at them all day. Then we'll sit back and wait for soak up the pressure and then just hit them.
His demeanour he reminds me now when he's talking on Match of the Day, just like Lee Clark. It's down like that, Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. And all the pictures you see after the matches now, he's like that. His face is down. He looks like he's got bigger bags than Nick. Like his face is, and somebody says he could do with a good wash. He looks like he's unkempt. Whereas you see Rowett, and when he's on, even if they lose, it's sort of like he's clear and direct, and he's sort of like.
I haven't seen his face after we've lost for quite a while. So
let's leave it at that.
No, you won't see it for a while anyhow. But what I'm saying is, like you said last year, this time last year, we were all saying, "Oh God, how much longer is this bloke going to be there?" Now we've got a manager. For God's sake, try and keep him there.
Right, GA. What's from you, across the other side of the divide? What's your take? Not only on the draw, but on again, we can't. I don't think. I think it's one that's going to be just too cool to shout about this one. You're shaking your head already.
I don't care. I just won the championship yesterday.
You may have
don't
done.
care.
You may have done, but this is a football show.
Okay.
And what is going to happen is if you lose, you're going to get the biggest basting in this studio of your lifetime.
You think I'm coming here? Look, do you know what? I think that it's a derby. Anything can happen.
It absolutely can.
It's just that, isn't it? And the fans themselves will play a big part in this.
Yeah.
And
KC saying saw one of Tim Sherwood's interviews the other week, and he looked a beaten man.
Yeah.
And he does, and the longer it goes on, the more downtrodden you'll get.
Can I just add Tim Sherbet Dab?
Don't talk about Sherbet Dab.
And don't forget, before the derby, he's got Stoke coming up.
Yes.
He's got Albion 4 days.
Absolutely, 4 days before our game,
And Liverpool afterwards as well.
And Liverpool afterwards.
He must be trembling in his boots.
did not
'Cause
say
I did say something stronger, but
I can tell you now.
He must.
I tell you what,
I did write it.
I tell you what I can hear in this studio right now: people clutching at straws.
Well, of course, look, and that's what football predictions are all about. I mean, that's why I said I wouldn't call it.
It's a Premier League side against the Championship side, and the
we got
Premier League side are at home.
Yeah.
So just what I was going to say, we've got nothing to lose.
No.
We go there,
fresh and daisy faced. No, you're not interrupting this. I'm sorry, Chris. You finished what you were saying. Come on, let's have it.
The way we've started the season, there is no reason for us to fear going there, in my opinion. It would have been lovely if it would have been this week, if the international break hadn't have happened.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
But hopefully we'll beat Bristol City and we'll beat Nottingham Forest in the space of 4 days next week, and we'll still be on a high, and we can go there and just enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay.
Scotland too, Germany too.
That sounds a very interesting game going on over.
Fair play to Scotland, going
absolutely.
behind twice and
against
the world champions.
I agree with you too, because, like I said,
of course you do. With the
voice of
reason.
Sports Radio as well.
Come on, I do make some intelligent quotes now and again.
You do, and you've also had your photograph taken and put it on your shirt.
I ain't Miller. When I bought these, everybody burst out laughing because I'm walking around and saying, "How did you?" And it's Pete Griffin, isn't it? And everybody calls me Pete Griffin.
Yeah, all right. Back on subject.
No, hang on. Back on
People call you lots of things, Ducko.
I know, and some of them aren't repeatable. Anyhow, what I was saying is that, I totally agree, but I'm not worried as long as we give a good performance. Let them have the kudos, because that match is more important to them than it is to us. And I really believe that the ticket allocation's a disgrace.
Well, what can we say? 2,800.
When they come down, we give them 4,000.
And look what happened.
But then there was an awful lot of trouble.
And look what happened.
Yeah, but
then having said that, it was the Birmingham City supporters that ran onto the field.
Yeah. And I got another point is, all right, you're going to have 2,800 people there, and my mate come up with a good point.
You're going to have a whole lot more than 2,800.
I've heard people are going in the altar.
I can't see how it happens, because even the Villa fans have got to have previous booking history.
Exactly.
Even previous home book. It's not the 1970s and 80s anymore. You can't just rock up to a ticket office and buy a ticket.
The Villa and the
you have to
Coppers don't want us there, Chris.
But when they're not going to be there, that's my point.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to get in, even to buy. If you went up to the Villa and wanted to buy a ticket for that game, you have to have been to a Villa game before. You have to have been to Villa Park to see Villa before. You have to have a client reference number. Any ticket you buy now, even on the match day at somewhere like a Premier League ground, you are given a client reference number. And unless you've got that, you're not getting a ticket.
And I think anybody who does
the
try
only way it
has
can
probably
happen,
got less than 3 brain cells.
The only way it will happen is if friends who work together, for example, who are Villa and Blues fans, and they buy them a ticket. If they're not going to go, they'll buy them a ticket. But even then, you know, the risk of giving a Blues fan your ticket when you're a season ticket holder, if you're not going to go, the risk of giving him that and him getting caught, your ticket's going to be taken off you. No. I think the chances are so low of that happening now.
There was another point a mate of mine came up with, and they've got it. I don't think it'll happen, but while the coppers are patrolling down at Villa Park and keeping it all nice and safe, what about the pubs in town?
Well, that's where
the
bigger danger is.
Yeah, and yet the coppers are going to be away from that environment. Personally, like I say, I'll go around the local. I'll have this. I'll have a laugh and a joke with the Villa fans. But the trouble is, I don't think they're thought it through properly. They've concentrated too much on one area, and I don't think they've thought of other areas where there could be possible. And like Chris has just said,
the city is going to be a tinderbox.
With it being on Selly, that you know, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they give us 5,000 tickets and give us the whole North Stand, then
my only
then
point
you've got
was for
5,000 Blues fans to look at.
Yeah, but for security, that's probably easy to handle in one stand, because then you have a lock-in afterwards. You know, if that's 15 minutes, if it's 20, if it's 40 minutes, that lock-in is in effect until such time as the police are happy to, for you to go back out into the streets. Chris,
comment on Facebook. So if you all have client references, why can't we have a decent allocation on the basis that they know who everybody is in the stadium?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
It is a fair point, yeah.
But whoever, if you went to Bolton away last season, you're going to have a client reference number as an away member.
Yeah.
You've got a priority card for away games. So they do know, in a sense, who's going to go, because it's not going to go to plain ordinary season ticket holders. You got 2,800 tickets, 4,500 went to Bolton. Not last year, 2 years ago.
That's what I got, and I find that's great for ordering tickets.
Yeah.
And they've got all my details.
Well, it's got your client reference number. If I just read it out, if anybody wants to...
I swore then.
It's no surprise.
Actually, in my wallet, I have...
A very thin wallet.
It is a very thin wallet.
No,
I have that one. There you go.
Oh, is that last year?
Oh, it's donkey's years old, that one is. Donkey's years old.
Jeff Foden on it?
Yes. It's on slate.
But it goes. I think if you went to every away game last season, you get platinum, and it's awarded down in ranks like that.
Oh right, that's good idea.
They've said that already.
You're not going. And they put the ticket announcement up today, and they've only actually announced sale dates for away members and club class members.
Right.
They haven't actually announced any date in which regular season ticket holders who don't go to away games could get tickets.
Okay,
Because
so
I don't think they're expecting it to go
kind
that
of looks
far.
like. I mean, look, the police intelligence nowadays is an awful lot better than it used to be, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So the clubs do work together, and I know they've had meetings and spoken about this, and it does look like that's going to be a relatively safe environment, unless friends are friends, right?
Yeah.
And a very good point that Doco made. The rest of the city is going to be
It will.
be
The
literally
city
a
centre
tinderbox.
is going to be
yeah.
even more difficult to control than the ground.
See, because you got your local pubs. Why don't they go to local pubs, or is it because everybody wants to go up? The best, like my mate said, they should have looked into closing most of the city centre pubs to try and push them back out.
Okay,
Oh,
here's another
it's
suggestion.
never gonna
And the
happen.
city
If
centre
you're a
pub's going to
city
be happy with that.
Here's another
You've got
suggestion.
Blues Villa on the telly. You want people in drinking.
Here's another suggestion then. Why couldn't we possibly have the rights to screen it on that big screen in the
Yeah.
corner of in the corner and just open up, half the Cop and the railway end, so to speak.
I believe that's a Sky thing, isn't it?
With it, yeah, and then who's to say Villa fans can't get into that?
Yeah.
So it's
Yes, no, I agree with
It's
you
such
now.
a shame that we
police
have to
point of
think
view-
of these
Yeah, it
numpties
is,
and
it is.
idiots.
But they are there.
I've been thinking the whole
You
time.
know.
They are there. So for the police, it's an impossible situation that they can't do something that pleases everybody. But they have to do.
Go, but
And from the both clubs' point of view, from Villa's point of view, you've got 2,800 Blues fans in the area where every club as away fans sit, so they don't have to do anything differently,
Yeah,
which is in a way it's the easiest way to go about it. They don't have to change their plans. They police it how they would police Man United come in and bring in 2,800 fans. West Brom bring in 2,800 fans, which is going to happen 4 days before we go. So they police it exactly the same.
And this Channel K is going to be giving live updates. I take it on this one, or is he? I did say something that was on the shout books earlier. No.
Probably not. No.
Updates on updates.
Updates,
That's
maybe.
Right. Yes,
Updates, of course, yeah, updates. Yes.
Nothing,
Not live commentary.
couldn't possibly say that with broadcasting rights, etc., etc., etc. That's why I used the word updates.
Updates. Yeah. No, we can do it.
SKC says the club reckons it will only get to silver members, so
Yeah.
he's been
Yeah.
told.
Which I think is
I think it's
around
pretty
about
fair
5.
myself,
I
you
think
know.
that's around
Yeah.
5 to 7 away games
Yeah.
last season attended.
Right,
So
okay.
that's like Chris said.
I'm
that's
not
the
even
fairest
gonna
way
try
to
and
do
get a
it.
ticket,
If
'cause
if
I've
you're
got no
a
chance.
fan, if you're a fan who goes to every away game, I mean, last season, the start of last season, if you're going away to wherever we were going last season and getting battered week in, week out, you deserve the chance to go to. I mean, I know 3 or 4 years ago, I was one of them fans. I was a fan who, one of 208 that went to Barnsley away on a Tuesday night where we drew 1-1. And if that was me, if I was still doing that, I'd be damn sure that I'm wanting to get a ticket for this one. If I'm willing to go to Barnsley away on a Tuesday night, I'm going to this one. So I think it's only fair.
I think also the other big factor is on the 26th. Is it South Africa are playing there in the World Cup?
Yeah, I think it's the rugby
And they've
Yeah,
only
of
got
course,
four,
that
they've
starts,
only
doesn't
got 4 days or 6
to get
days.
it sorted.
And
yeah.
like somebody was telling me in a pub who delivers for DHL, they went up and the people.
Other delivery services are available.
Yeah. the people.
We're going to get closed down
The
tonight.
people on the villa, at the reception of Villa Park were saying, "Oh God, so they don't smash the toilets up."
Well, they're going to, because that's...
Yeah, and they
mean,
said,
it-
"No, I
it's-
don't
look,
think
it's already been-
2,800 will. I don't think they
You'd be
will.
surprised. You'd be surprised.
If they're registered, they've got to be really careful. They've got to represent the club. I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it to anybody's football ground in any
No.
circumstance.
But
It's
the
not
thing
in my
is-
mentality,
But
Doctor.
it's a
before
Tuesday
they
night,
knew
they're going to be. They're probably not going to go to work. They're going to have the whole day on the drink. I know the people who go away from home week in, week out, and they're not me and you, and they're not.
And the trouble with this one, it's not really like away, is it? You know what I mean?
No,
It's
exactly,
2
yeah.
miles up the
Yeah,
road, you know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's like... Yeah.
But no, like I was saying that they're panicking, and I said, well, this was before the allocation was sorted out. Why couldn't they have postponed the cup match and played it early October rather than rather than that week that they've got a big major, they've got to pull down the posts, they've got to remark the pitch.
Yeah. It's only a day's work, though.
Well, I don't know. I don't really know about that.
Spray the bits green and just paint the
But
bits white.
they're panicking. They've said we've got still builders on standby.
Well, that's their issue, not ours. As I say, that's you know.
Well,
I could even worry about what they're going to do to their football ground before and or after. To be perfectly honest with you, because I don't even like the place.
Oh, you got to
Can I
spend
gauge some reaction though about the Birmingham Mail and their comments about move the game? Yeah. I mean,
the Mail.
Sorry, the Mail, Birmingham Mail.
The bloke on Paul Franks, your mate. They were at Milton Keynes Dons, and they started up late, and some bloke texted in a blue nose, and he said, "I wonder if the Mail have had the kick-off time shifted." Because the referee got injured that day at Milton Keynes Dons.
Yes, he did, yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't kick off. But the Mail, you know, they're all Villa fans. They're a London paper, they're run by the Mirror Group.
Yeah. But there's absolutely, this is just my opinion, not the opinion of Sports Radio, but there's nothing worth reading sports-wise in the Mail. The sports section of the Birmingham Mail is so abject and so childish and immature, and after every weekend's game there's always that 5 things we learned about Blues.
Yes,
after a weekend's game, and you think to yourself, they get paid to write this drivel. It's cheap journalism, and that story, they're obviously just trying to fill space. They're trying to fill paper space, and they've just come up with utter rubbish at the end of the day, and just trying to stir something up that it doesn't need stirring up.
It's exactly.
Why are you even why are you even bothering?
No,
and is it a Birmingham Mail issue?
No,
exactly.
It's a fans. It's what the only reason I brought it up was because I love rugby and football, and you got a big match coming up. It's not about. I know it's their ground, but there's a big international coming up. I'm not bothered about the trouble. Like I say, the trouble is not going to be at Villa Park. It's going to be other places where everybody gets tanked up, and one person says the one word, and you start bloody riot going. But mine was more on a sports-related issue rather than trouble being. You know what I mean? You've got you've got Albion. Blues and then South Africa on the Sunday, and it's a lot to do, and they want to, if they want to promote rugby across the world, they want to have that pitch looking really nice.
Absolutely, but I tell you what, it's a football ground at the end of the day.
It is a football ground.
The only reason they've used it is because
you ask any fan, any Blues or Villa fan,
I wouldn't want rugby played on St Andrews.
No. I'm on about the fixture. That they wanted it changed to the Sunday. You ask any Blues Villa fan, would you rather have that on a Tuesday night at 7:45 with every other game, or would you rather have it at Sunday at 12 o'clock?
Can anyone remember the last 12 o'clock Sunday? Against the Villa. They had 1,200.
Yeah, that was the league
12
game
o'clock,
after the cup game.
1,500. Awful ground.
They're just terrible games. I remember the first game against them was a Monday night, wasn't it? It was two Monday nights.
Yeah.
There was trouble, and the police should have known that it was going to happen. I think they were underprepared for it. The 2 games after that were both on a Sunday. The home one on a Sunday was the worst game of football I've ever seen at Blues. It was a 12 o'clock kickoff, and it was just dire.
There was no atmosphere
but you're asking professional footballers to get up at 5-6 o'clock in the morning.
Couldn't wait to go.
And
you know what? I can't even remember the score.
On a Sunday, it was 0-0.
0-0.
It was just dire.
Couldn't wait to get away.
Okay, all right. I think we've kind of nailed that. SKC says the Mail are a joke. It was never an option for it to be moved. Cheap journalism to fill some empty space in the tatty Villa rag.
Yeah, so true.
Well said. Right now, I've made a vow upon our Tilton Talk Facebook page to stand up and sing Delilah.
Oh dear.
Stoke beat B6.
Right, okay.
So if, as and when that happens, I promise to do it in the
Come
half-time.
on the jaw.
Hey, Nick, why?
Why not?
Oh, right, right.
I thought he was going to say that. It's not unusual.
What's new, pussycat?
So there you go. That's my pledge to my local
Oh, that's
Stoke
okay.
City supporters, who will actually be listening in on the evening as
It
well.
is logs now,
It is
so there
live,
you go.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
fine.
they're going to take a laptop down to the club where there's a load of Stoke supporters downstairs from where I live.
Right,
and
okay.
play the show and listen to me singing Delilah at half time. There you go.
Brilliant.
That's going to be funny.
There's a pub next to a chip shop, by the way.
isn't it?
Oh God! Please don't do it.
That's all.
Oh, come on. Anything
I
to
might actually be rooting for Birmingham City.
Right, lovelies, it's 10 minutes to go to time, and if you want to join in our Super 6...
Oh yes, I've got to do it this week.
Now, our Super 6 is flying at the minute.
Hobbles.
I actually got no points again this weekend. I don't know what's gone on.
I didn't do it.
I used to thrash it last year. I'm having a bad season. I must have an injury. I must have picked up a knock. That's all I can think. Where are you, Chris? Are you third from bottom?
Yeah, I'm mid-table.
Mid-table, safe.
Mid-table, mediocrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, I think you're the
Yeah,
one
I
that's
am,
being
yeah.
relegated.
I forgot.
at the minute,
I forgot.
No, it's
Bristol
down to the
Academy,
individual.
yeah.
It's down to the
Yeah.
individual, and I think we ought to come up with kind of a forfeit at the end of the season for he and or she that
I'm
does come
hurriedly
last.
trying to find the link to get my scores in.
You've got none.
You've got
no
zero.
That's
point.
no good, is it?
Nil point. Nothing.
Terrible.
Chris. Nothing. Zero. Nil point. Zilch.
Get the message. You get the message.
Bottom. Okay, I think a forfeit, a sports radio forfeit for the league loser, and perhaps a little trophy for the league winner. Chris, what do you think? A little trophy.
Oh
for the
yeah,
league
yeah.
winner?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but Blue Ob is flying at the minute, and
Yeah,
they're crying
he is,
out
yeah.
loud. What's going on?
He's on fire.
Have you joined in,
yeah.
Doco?
I'm not really a gambler.
You don't have to gamble. It's not gambling.
Well, it keeps
No money
asking
involved.
me.
Oh, can't remember my PIN number.
Ah.
I'm playing now.
I'll have to have a go.
Mine comes in automatic
I
on
don't
the
know,
iPad.
I-
So.
I'm stuck
So
in
yeah,
all.
so if you want to join our Super 6 League, it's called, is it the Tilton Talk Show?
Tilton Talk
Yeah.
Show Super 6 League. Please get on it and have a laugh. And Chris is desperate for somebody to join now who hasn't even had a go yet,
No.
so they also join him on...
There's an app as well, isn't
Nil
there?
point.
There's an
Yeah,
app.
there
There's
is
an
that.
app.
There is an app, yeah.
Bugger it.
Yeah.
Never going to find it.
Right, Bristol City away next then. What did I say away? I've got the other game on me head. Bristol City at home. I did actually say it was at home in the introduction. So, forecast another big crowd, maybe.
Yeah, big crowd. Back after international duty, so
And of course, I dare say even a few more will come along to this one, knowing about the Carling Cup game in a couple of weeks' time.
yeah, possibly, yeah.
Even if it's 150 to
yeah.
whatever.
Every little helps, doesn't it? Yeah. So, yeah, I think that haven't started the season too well, Bristol City. So, mind you, they did have an excellent win away at Middlesbrough.
Yeah, they did.
But hopefully we'll carry on the momentum we had going into the international break. You know, we haven't had anyone leave really, so the group will have been together for the 2 weeks.
Pretty good close of window, don't you think?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
This time,
I still can't work out
keeping
where's
dry.
Thomas.
well,
He's
Are
not
they-
going
are
to
they-
play.
are
though.
they-
He's not going to
I
play.
know he's not going to play. And I was just going to raise the point. Has he let him go on loan so he gets first team
Yeah,
football?
definitely,
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, I'm not. I just.
he's got a
I
recall
think
on
he's
him anyway,
gonna-
so
I think
he has got
he's-
a recall on him. So
Yeah.
if anything,
Yeah.
anything
But I'm
towards
thinking
that.
If there's an injury to Donaldson, that's the only way he'll bring him back.
But I
Because
think
there's
he's
no
a good
point.
player.
There's no point in having Thomas and keeping him on the bench when you know that Donaldson. Not only is he his first choice striker,
But he
he's-
rattled in
he's
against
a,
MK
He's a
Donzo, didn't he?
90-minute man as well.
He rattled in against MK Donzo, didn't he? Wes?
Gillingham.
Gillingham, big one.
Yeah, but that's that's the level he's playing at now.
Yeah.
He's playing against League One teams now,
Yeah.
and he scored on his debut.
Can't give him any arm to get regular football.
No, I think it's excellent for him, and you've got to be realistic. And Rowett he's an honest bloke, Rowett,
I like him as a young player.
and if he's gone up to Thomas and said, "Listen, Swindon have come in for you a loan bid until January. I'm going to be on. You know, he's going to be honest with him. You're not playing ahead of Donaldson. I can't play you ahead of Donaldson. I trust Donaldson implicitly. And you have to say, from Thomas's point of view, do you go to Swindon and play week in, week out? You know, with the option of coming back to Blues if something happens, or do you sit on Blues' bench and hope for 5 minutes here or there? You know, I think it's the right decision. From now until, you know, say we go out the Cup to the Villa, from now until January, we don't play any more Cup games. It's only league games then until January. And so Thomas's chances are limited to virtually nothing if Donaldson's fit.
And firing.
Yeah, and we've got Brock Madsen now, the Danish kid. You know, if he's on now our backup option, so it's good for Thomas to go out and get game time.
Right. Yeah, I agree. You quite happy with that answer then, Doco?
Yeah, I'm very happy. That's what I thought. That it's not to get rid of him.
No, definitely not.
Because I like Wes Thomas. When he's come on, he's been a good little player for us. He works hard. Yes, Donaldson and Brock Madsen are the main two now.
And only playing one up front, which we do.
Yeah.
We only need the two, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would like to see somebody up there, like giving Gray a good kicking up the backside, because Donaldson's up there and he's holding the ball up and nobody's running in to take the ball off him. He's one of the most unselfish players I ever met. And he's fantastic at holding, and he's good at upsetting a defence. I don't care what I seen him against Forest and he ran rings round them last year. And he's such a hard worker. And I haven't said that about a striker for a long, long time. And yeah, he's one of my favourite players at the moment, Donaldson. But like you say, yeah, as long as he's it's for the right motives and he's letting Wes Thomas go out, getting match experience, and perhaps he'll come back a better player.
In all aspects, over the last sort of 8 months, we have put our absolute heartfelt trust in what Gary Rowett has said and done. And I have no reason to doubt him on this. I have no reason to doubt him on anything, to be perfectly honest with you. So in Rowett we trust.
Yeah, have you ever heard me say a bad word?
No. Yeah, Rowett out.
Well, that's a joke, that is. That was my good luck charm. That was. No, you're absolutely right. If the other bloke had been here still, we'd have been like trying to hang ourselves.
We'd have been where Wes Thomas is now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, the fact that I know we've just had that break, but the fact that we could actually have been in second place had that Brentford game taken place.
Yeah.
The feel-good factor is back at St Andrews. Yeah. The crowds are coming back.
Well, there's 2 games in 4 days.
We've only gone and drawn our local rivals in the cup. It's all looking pretty good at the moment, and the backroom stuff has gone nicely quiet. And as like, you know, things seem to be happening. There's obviously some money trickling into the club from Trophies Asia or wherever.
Does it make you think, you know, the 2 protagonists in this saga?
Don't mention any names.
Yeah, but the two we know.
Yeah.
They're the ones who aren't involved anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And nothing has come out.
And
so it's clear to me that anything that ever come out into the press was them two making something.
What's happening at St Andrews? At St Andrews, right? Reminds me now of the Mediterranean on a very calm day. You know, it's just like rippling along. Do you understand what I mean? Though? Instead of like this, like haven't even got a clue if this place is going to be here.
Panos has steadied the ship no end. He's worked hard. He works in Birmingham. He doesn't run it from Hong Kong.
Panos Pavlova?
Yeah, that's him.
Pavlova. Ooh, I thought I'd get that one in before we finished. Well, where's that time gone to? Doco, it's almost nice to see you, to be perfectly honest with you.
Am I a friend of the shows?
No, we have to have a vote on that. And that has to be done behind,
and I've been quite quiet tonight.
Behind locked and closed doors, so we'll let you know next week whether you're a friend of the show or not.
I have been quite quiet tonight.
Interruption.
Scotland 2, Germany 3.
Wow, there you go, right on the full-time whistle almost.
Are we doing the predictions for Saturday?
We're doing the predictions, yes. The competition hasn't been won, so the T-shirt is still up for grabs, and the predictions for Bristol are only accepted on the Tilton Talk show page or the other one on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter, yeah.
Well, I'm not at home tonight, so I can't do it.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to do it when you get home.
Yeah.
Any time.
There you go. You've got time to bake cookies and
no,
beer.
Short bread.
Right, okay,
Same
right.
thing.
Doco, please tell me you didn't wear a pinny. Please.
I didn't wear a pinny.
Goodness for that. Can I leave us all
I did
that
wear.
thought?
I've got the image now. I hate that.
I had stockings suspended.
Yes. And unfortunately, that was the image I had. Oh my God.
I nearly broke your chair then, Chris.
I just thought I'd upset you all before we...
Well, actually, I must say, and I will say this publicly, the shortbread cookies were tasted very nice, actually. They tasted very nice, and thank you, I do appreciate them. And it is actually genuinely quite nice to see you, despite what you might think or might not think. Chris Pugh, thanks as always for your excellent point of view and your input, mate. I couldn't do it without you.
If anybody's free on Sunday, get down to Solihull Moors to
God,
cheer on
yeah,
Blues
yeah.
Ladies in the
There we go,
quarter-final.
against Chelsea.
Against Chelsea.
Chris Brown, thanks ever so much for being on Buttons, for your awfully wonderful support. Couldn't do it. GA, again, thanks for your input.
More than welcome.
We could probably do without you, to be honest with you, if you're a Villa fan. Enjoyed it. It's good to be
Someone
back.
less popular than
That
me.
now is our last holiday, I believe, until the Christmas break.
Yeah.
Let's see where we are this time come Doco's next visit. Oh God, could you picture him in his Santa suit again?
He's coming in when Johnny comes in, I think.
Yeah, Rocky John, I'm going to get him back in after the next time. You'll like to meet him. Actually, I'll probably leave the both of you in Birmingham. You get on. Have a great week, guys. Listen, if you do get to the game on Saturday, enjoy. Let's hope we pick up 3 points. Keep trusting in Gary in a wonderfully steadied ship. We're all looking forward to the big one. The big one, 16th. Is it 8 o'clock? Is it 8 o'clock? 22nd. 22nd. 8 o'clock. Under the floodlights, up the road. Let's keep right on to the end.
And all Blue Noses take a can of
That
petrol.
road.
Good night.
Do without comments like that.
Birmingham forever. Let's hear it from the stand. So come on, city, sing this song once more.